This is an original production of the Gnomes of Wondergarten, with story, music, and performance by Nathaniel Santa Cruz. Let's begin.
Chapter 12. Petipom's Banquet. Part 1. Warm rays of sunlight streamed through the window. Hamilton stirred as the sudden brightness tickled his nose. He sat up, rubbed his eyes, and looked outside. To his delight, the first buds on the trees were beginning to open. Excited, he jumped to his feet and hurried over to wake Thumbkin, who lay bundled beneath the blankets. "Thumbkin!" Hamilton called, his heart racing with joy.
The sun is shining down again. So lift your face to the sky and feel the warmth again. The grass is peering through again, and little buds are appearing on all the trees again. The Winter King is growing sleepy again, and Lady Spring will come at winter's end. The sky is turning blue again. The clouds are drifting away and turning all white again. The birds are starting to sing again. Their songs are filling the air as they fly above again. The Winter King is journeying back to the mountain top, and Lady Spring will come when all of the frost has stopped. Then every plant will rise to greet the morning sun, and everyone will sing, for spring has begun. So come, let's go see the sun again. It shines to give us a sign that spring will soon come again.
The worst is now over, said Thumbkin. Spring is upon us. Relieved, he pulled the covers aside and sat up with a smile. It's time to get the garden ready. There was much to do: beds to weed, soil to rake, and compost to spread. Across the field, Rutabug stepped outside and took a deep breath. The air was fresh, the soil was warm, and the sun was shining. Beautiful day to be walking again, he said. All morning long, the gnomes worked outside, Rutabug and Morrison tending to the garden beds, Thumbkin and Hamilton checking their mushroom logs, while Pottlebloom was busy replanting flower bulbs. When the sun reached its highest point, they all gathered in the field. The grass was dry, which meant they could enjoy their first picnic of the year. Rolling out blankets, they sat together for a well-earned lunch, when Rutabug paused and noticed how quiet it was. Looking around, he asked, "Where's Petipom?" Oh dear," said Puddlebloom. "Did we forget to invite him?" "Oh, I haven't seen him all morning," added Thumbkin. "It's quite unlike him to stay inside on a day like this, especially the first sunny day of the season." Feeling up for the task, Rutabug stood and brushed the crumbs off his lap. "I'll go check on him." Thumbkin and Puddlebloom exchanged a glance and shrugged in passive agreement. With a nod, Rutabug set off across the field toward the orchard to find Petipom. When he arrived at the base of the plum tree, Rutabug's eyes followed the ladder all the way up to Petipom's front porch. Why does he have to live all the way up there? Really, we ought to build him a pulley or something. Letting out a big sigh, Rutabug began to climb. 1 foot after the other, up the ladder he went until he reached the top. Panting and out of breath, he pulled himself over the edge. Standing up, he turned around to see all of Wondergarten, from Puddlebloom's pond to his own garden beds, clear across the field to Thumbkin's corner. "Well, would you look at that?" he said in amazement. "No wonder he likes it up here." Remembering his task, he turned and approached the front door. He waited, but there was no response. Sister Flame appeared upon a candle in the window and urged him to come inside. With a nod, Rutabug opened the door. There, sitting at the table with his knees pulled to his chest, was Petipom. With his back turned, he looked longingly out the window toward the field where the others were gathered. Immediately, Rutabug could tell something was wrong. Gently, he approached the young gnome with a soft and delicate song. "Hello, friend. We missed you. I came to see if you're okay. Hello, friend. I am here. You're not alone. May I come near? I know when we feel alone, we tend to hide at home. But friends always can tell if you are not well. So I have come to see if you will be with me." Comforted, Petipom turned and managed a small smile. Rutabug came closer and leaned against the table. "It's a beautiful day today. The first sunny day in months." Petipom nodded quietly. "I'm sure you can imagine why we were all a bit worried when you didn't come and join us for the picnic." Petipom looked up. I wanted to, but..." He hesitated. I didn't have any food to bring." You don't have any food?" Rutabug's tone shifted, now more serious. Petipom explained. I just had my last jar of jelly." He paused.
You always say that good gnomes ought to be prepared for winter, and I really tried this year, but it still wasn't enough.
He hid his face between his knees and began to cry. Feeling a wave of compassion, Rutabug climbed up onto the table and sat beside him. Petipom looked up, surprised, but comforted by the gesture. "Why didn't you tell us that you ran out of food?" Rutabug asked gently. "You know we would have helped you." Petipom sniffled. I was afraid you would think I wasn't a good gnome." Understanding now, Rutabug placed a hand on Petipom's leg and turned to look out the window. After a few quiet moments, he took a deep breath. "You know, Petipom," he said gently, gazing ahead, "being a good gnome isn't about how much food you have or how much fruit grows on your tree. It's about the kind of fruit you grow in your heart." He turned to look at Petipom. "You're a good gnome, not because of how well you care for your house or garden, but because you care for your friends." Petipom lifted his eyes and looked at Rutabug. He continued, "And it's not about what you do. What matters is what you are. You're a Gnome of Wondergarten. You're a part of this family, and nothing you do or don't do will ever change that. It doesn't matter if you have nothing to offer. You're always welcome at our table." Petipom's eyes began to water with a deep sense of worth. Warmth filled his chest until suddenly a bright smile appeared upon his face, and he burst forward, wrapping Rutabug in a big hug. Surprised, Rutabug caught the young gnome until they both tumbled off the table. Laughter erupted in the quiet room as the two struggled to get up. Helping each other to their feet, they dusted themselves off. "Now," said Rutabug, fixing his hat, "about these empty cupboards. Come with me."
Thank you for listening, and we hope you enjoyed this story. Be sure to visit us at wondergarden.net or join us on the Wondergarten app. Now, please enjoy some music from this story, performed by Catherine Brunner.
The sun is shining down again, so lift your face to the sky and feel the warmth again. The grass is peering through again, and little buds are appearing on all the trees again. The winter king is growing sleepy again, and Lady Spring will come at winter's end. The sky is turning blue again. The clouds are drifting away and turning The Winter King is journeying back to the mountain top, and Lady Spring will come when all of the frost has stopped. Then every plant will rise to greet the morning sun, and everyone will sing, for spring has begun. So come, let's go see the sun again. It shines to give us a sign that spring will soon come again. Hello, friend. We missed you. I came to see if you're okay. Hello, friend. I am here. You're not alone. May I come near? I know when we feel alone, we tend to hide at home. But friends always can tell if you are not well, so I have come to see